One. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Young Nation. Call me Ian French, Prince of the Town, in the house.
Call me Ashley D. Lisha D. For those passionate about spelling bee, you can also call me Madam STACUS. Madam Stackers in the house.
That is also one of us in the house. And we also have another one on a phone call. This is Mr. Professor. Kindly, Mr. Professor, introduce yourself so that people can hear you. Hello, Mr. John.
Hello.
Yes. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. Introduce yourself so that we can hear you. Introduce yourself. We can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Hello? Just speak, just speak, just speak. Hello? Yeah. You can hear me? Yeah, then introduce yourself. We are hearing you. Yeah, we are hearing you. We are live actually. Yeah. So that is our professor, Mr. Emmanuel Onono, calling himself cute and beautiful. I hope it's clear. Maybe if it's not clear, guys, you can tell us in the comment section. Okay. So we are actually here to discuss today about this judgmental society. In the recent times, it has come to our attention that actually we are judging a lot. We never really know what is going behind the curtains, but we just get that sometimes you are judged according to what you are doing, your career progress, and all that. So we can take this positively, we can also take it negatively. Can judgment be positive?
Yeah, the judgments can be positive and also can be negative. So we are going to dive into both sides, not only how are they affecting us positively and negative, and how can we profit from them.
What is your take on judgment, the society judging people? Hello, you can hear me? Professor who is joining as a third person, but he's outside the country. He could not join us on live. That is why we are trying to reach him using this tech. Well then, what can we really talk about? Who is judging who? Talking of the society. Now, who is the society?
The society ni mimi na wewe, and society as a whole. Society is not just the people coming together, the community together, driven by the same norm and custom, but you are the society, I am a society as an individual, and we judge. We tend to judge everything.
Depending on what, now you can be judged according to maybe what you are doing, how you are dressing, if it's for a lady. Ladies and men are all judged differently. You can be also in a relationship, your relationship can be judged by the society differently. But we are going to take a look at all this and see, is it positive, is it negative? When to take it positively and also when to take it positively, right? So therefore we can dive into taking judgment positively, first of all. Sometimes these judgments can be positive because we have a society that has norms and customs. We have a culture that we always need to abide to. And somebody's character is always built by the environment that someone is living in. You see, so when you're living in a certain society that criticizes you putting on that short miniskirt, you know, so then you can take it positively and say, okay, it is being criticized. Now I can change my character. Let me do this so that it actually becomes according to the culture and the norms of the society. So you are doing things according to the society. You are actually accepting that judgment, you know. And by the way, even for ladies, I don't think, well, when you put on a short miniskirt, it's attractive. Most of the time, I think when we were doing public speaking, there's a guy, a phrase I got from Benny Hino Bengo. If you know Benny Hino Bengo, big up for you. Now, there's a phrase I got from him. He was just saying, you make your speech as short as a miniskirt.
Just long enough to cover the essentials.
But just long enough to cover the essentials. So, the miniskirt is only covering essentials, but it's short. The fact is that it still remains short. And it's attractive, by the way. Men will look, yeah, tukiona you're coming around and then you have a miniskirt with you. Of course, tutageuza shingo tuangalie. It's attractive, but even if you're putting on that miniskirt, will we now be attracted to you? Will we say that you are responsible enough that you can take care of a home? You know? Because a man will build a house and will expect the lady to make it a home. Yeah. So will the lady make that house a home when the man has already built the house, when you are putting on that miniskirt and maybe exposing some parts of your body? Yeah. So I think some ladies, you just need to take it responsible. You address your choice, it's okay. You address your choice, fine. But then again, we have this other part where you need to be employed somewhere. Of course, we always start from somewhere. I don't think, very few of us do always start our own employment, you know, and start being our self-employment. We start being our own bosses, but that one will come later on after you have experienced in some working places. Now, at working places, there is a way you will need to dress. And this is something that we need, a conversation that we need to be ready to have. Most of the young people will criticize dressing well, you know. Okay, it may be okay that you can't really afford some nice clothes to put on, but there is a way you can just dress and then look presentable before people. For example, when you are also preparing for an interview, you need to be well dressed, because we do say what? We will see you before we talk to you.
The first impression matters.
Very much. So how we will see you first before you start talking. Even ladies get attracted to men who are dressing well, you know. The way you look first. We see you there and then we will then, okay, so this is how you think. So we will judge you according to the way you're dressed first.
Yeah.
So you take it positively. Now just put on nicely, just dress well, so that when you are appearing before people, you are actually presentable and you are comfortable. Yeah. You know, we are comfortable in different areas. We can be comfortable in our houses. When you're in the house, of course, some do stay half naked in the house. Some, I don't think there's someone who is always fully dressed. Maybe if someone is fully dressed in the house, maybe you're not normal, especially for ladies.
Maybe you're expecting someone.
Yeah, and those people who always stay alone, they are usually like half naked or something in the house. But when you want to exit the house, you will need to start looking for, oh, where did I put my dress? Where did I put my trouser? Or when someone is knocking at the door, kindly those people who always knock at the door, for those people who are always single or staying in the house alone, if you knock at the door, give us time. Kindly give us time to dress before we open
the door.
You know, so that is something you're comfortable in the house doing that. But then when you exit, now, okay, how are people going to look at me when I've dressed like this, when I've done this? So you need to change. It's not really much of, can you call it an impression? You want to impress.
Yeah, you're trying to create an impression, but also you are kind of scared of what people will say.
But I think sometimes creating an impression is also like, okay,
You're trying to please
It
them.
can be. Yeah, we do things sometimes to please the society. Just to use another example, it can be society. We've said it can also be an individual. It can be your parent at home. This parent is a doctor maybe as a child, and then will want the child to become a doctor like him. Now, parents should remember that your child is not you. Your child can take a different trajectory of life. Hey, trajectory of life, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, your child can take a different trajectory, can decide to go follow something else, follow a different path, and then be successful using other means. You know, even when I come to you, and then you're like, hey, you look like a very successful man, tell us where you get your money. And then people are usually like, show us your ways.
Show us your ways.
Tuonyeshe wana alafu sisi tutakuwa tu ni god manze.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I can show you what I do, but the thing is, can you do what I do? You know, that can be the difference. Can you do what I do? So then you need to take your own path. So the father here in this family can decide to judge this child. Now, I want you to do medicine, yet that is not what the child wants to do. I want you to do nursing. Why? Because it's what I've done. It is what is feeding me, which is actually not really
The case.
right. Yeah. So in that case, kindly, parents let children take their own.
Okay, in this scenario, who is scared of the judgment? Is it the parent or is it the kid?
Now, this is the kid. The kid is now being modeled to be like, you know, that is now the father or the mother wanting an image of themselves in their children, you know. So they want the children to be like them, you know. So that is also a way of judging, you know. You want someone to be like you from your own perception. And we do say that judging can be objective and it can also be
subjective.
When you talk of objective, this means it's based on facts. These are facts. It can be objective because the father is there and says, okay, I eat a salary of 100M per month. Why? Because I am a doctor. So now I also want you to be a doctor. That's a fact, okay? It's judgment. Or it can also be subjective. You just feel nice that your family is based on a foundation of all of you being doctors. You're a doctor yourself, you married a doctor, and then you also want your child to be a doctor. So you also just get that satisfaction that, oh, now my family, we are all doctors. So that is the point, subjective point of it. You know, when you're talking about the children, the parents, Christians, you know. Later on, you may meet someone, and especially I hear Muslims, you need to always, you know, you always need to transition to be a Muslim so that you get married to a Muslim. Yeah, that is a way of expanding their own religion, you know. So why is it that I cannot just remain to be a Christian and marry the Muslim?
Maybe it's the norm, maybe it's the rule. But okay, let me talk about this religion something. Umezaliwa kwa familia, people are, okay, the parents. It always starts with the parents.
Exactly.
The parents are saved. Do you know, you'll also be forced to follow the same path. And you are not okay with it. Okay, maybe the village, hiyo area unatoka watu wameokoka sana. And now they expect you, since uko kwa hiyo village, you too should be like them. And that's not you. So unajifinya, you're just trying to please them, you're just trying to escape what the society will say if you are not like them. Na for real, hiyo story ya kuokoka sana si kitu yako. It's something that is forced on you. Is it okay just to suffer the pain in order to please the society?
That one will depend on the consequences. If there are harsh consequences, why not please them? Sometimes we're just doing things to please people, by the way. And sometimes you may do something not to care. You know? So you can decide, okay, let me do this and that. Let me become become religious the way they want to, but deep down you still know yourself. You know, we do say you become the best version of yourself. So if you are not into it, and maybe you are with them, you can decide sometimes, okay, they are forcing me into this, let me be into it. But sometimes I think it's also paramount that you decide to take your own path. Just be you. You know, don't please them. Just be you. But even as an example, I've just used an example of dressing code. We would also decide to come to this show and then we dress the way we want because we are like, we are not pleasing the public, you know? Yeah, we are not pleasing you. Or we may decide, let me put on something nice because I'm expecting compliments, you know? So you have the fear of being judged according to how you've dressed. You'll also have the fear of being judged because you're not following that religion, because you're not following what your parents are doing. How will the community start speaking? They will start saying, okay, in their family, oh, the dad is a pastor, the mom is a pastor. And then you get the child that they have. This child is a drug addict and all that, you know? Yeah, the person is a drug addict. The person is on a different path. And then when the society is looking at it, they look at this person and then they look at the background, they look at the parents. You see? So that is also another fear of being judged. So you can also decide,
Alone.
Since my parents have a good image in the society, let me not spoil it for them. So you decide to play
No, that's
along.
sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice. Yeah, it will come as a sacrifice. You know, you'll decide to play along because you are.
But in the process, there's something you are losing yourself.
You could say that, yeah.
There's something that you are losing yourself. Time is running out. You are trying to please them, okay? You are trying to cover up their decency. It's okay. Lakini, wewe, if you break that silence, don't you think you're going to save these other 99 people au wenye wamenyamaza wanaogopa ku speak out? Do you know, we are forced into some things zenye we are not okay with them. But because we are scared to speak out, tunaamua, okay, let's suffer the pain.
Yeah. Sometimes we can be sacrificing to do that, or as you've said, maybe if you open up, you're going to serve other 99 people. Myself, I tend to believe that someone's character always depends with the environment he's living in. The same phrase we use as saying that, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So the environment, you know, those friends can be the environment. Your family at home and that religion is the environment. So if you're growing up in this environment, this kind of environment, you know, and then you will just accept it naturally. So you'll find it's going to be very difficult for you to be nurtured differently, for you to have a different trajectory, you see, of life. You get. So you will just follow this path. If it's just Christianity, you've been brought up with parents who are Christians.